Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you are all doing well. Welcome in if this is your first time, if you are a new subscriber, or if you are stopping in and you've never watched my content before. So, tonight for our discussion stream, I have a couple of interesting topics from the past couple of days. Also, I just noticed I don't think the music is playing in the background right now. Let me check. Let me make sure. Yep, it wasn't working. Is it working now, though? I think the music's playing now. I want to say I'm like 60% sure. Okay. It's too loud? Alright, let's turn this down, though. How is the volume now? Okay, I think we're good now. Always need a technical difficulty, you guys. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. I hope that you are all doing well tonight. We are going to be talking about China's plan on banning international online gaming. I talk about China quite a lot and their authoritarian bullshit, the things that they do, the things that they ban people from doing. We're going to talk about that tonight. I want to say I'm not excited, but it's just so ridiculous at this point that I can't help but talk about these subjects. We're going to talk about a rumor, I'll say it's a rumor, about the Last of Us HBO show. As most of you know, HBO greenlit a Last of Us TV show. We're not sure when it's going to come out. All we know is that it's in pre-production right now. But there has been some rumors on the plot and how the plot is apparently going to focus on climate change and rape culture and how it will be focused around women. Which sounds... It sounds like something alright. We're going to talk about the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and how they have said now that, of course, they want to combat hate and harassment in video games, and they are really going hard against Valve. Obviously, the ADL was, an organization that started as something, but all the ADL does now is troll media, just like PETA. PETA went down the same path as the ADL. They went from an organization that, started with fighting hate and anti-Semitism to I just want to say they've really gone down the path of trolling now, and no one is going to take their message seriously as a whole now. And before we really get into the topics, I do want to give a community thank you for all of the support you all have shown over the past couple of days. But before we get into that, how are you all doing? I hope that you guys are doing good. Let me check chat for a minute before we start getting into the topics. Let everyone get in here that wants to get into the stream. Welcome if you are a new subscriber. Welcome if you are a new supporter. I do appreciate you being here. And of course, if you are neither of those, well, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing good. Woman, more money for me, less money for them. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, better without music anyway. Wait, what do you mean better without music? We need some metal in here. What do you mean it's better without music? What the hell? Music makes everything better. First, Sony scorns crossplay. Now, China stops cross-country play. Yeah, we've seen companies kind of, especially Sony, have a problem with cross-play when it comes to devices and, regions, and now we're seeing this. I mean, when is it gonna stop? When can people just, play video games and just do the things that they want in life? Because people, only have one life. That's kind of cliche to say. I can turn the music up a little bit. Alright, I just turned the music up a little bit. I don't want it to be too loud. Also, my eye. Jeez Louise. Hello, eyeball. I have something in my eye. It's an eyeball. They think your voice is just Gordon Aloe Vera. PS4-less during quarantine. I'm dying. Sounds awful, honestly. I'm sorry for your non-PS4 life. That sucks. Everyone wants control. Yeah, everyone wants control, but they don't think about the people who are actually being affected by these things. It always just It's always what's going to help their bottom line. I saw a donation go through, but it didn't pop up on stream, I'm pretty sure. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me see if this is gonna do it. There we go. Thank you so much, Tony, for the $3 donation. I very much so appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right. I turned the music up. Thank you for the donation. Hey, Desolator, how are you doing? I hope that your night is going well. So, before we get into kind of the discussion stream topics like we typically do every week, before we get into those topics and the topics at hand, I really just wanted to make a statement about the situation with my Suzy Lou videos over the past couple of days. And I really just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that are here, anyone that is new, anyone that of course has continuously supported my content, and anyone that is here tonight. What happened with receiving threats and being hacked was obviously a very upsetting situation for me. I obviously didn't expect anything like that to happen when I was going into making the videos, especially because I put up videos kind of reporting what seemed to be the truth in the situation. I didn't give any harsh opinions on people like Suzy Lou. I didn't, call her any profanities. I didn't call her a monster. I didn't really attack her. And like I said, it seemed to be the truth from what I could see as an outsider looking in, but when it started happening, the threats and being hacked, and when I was hacked, since nothing like this had ever happened to me before, I did message a couple of creators like The Quartering. Jeremy, I've known him for a long time. He's been a creator that I've talked to a couple of times on occasions, and Jeremy basically said I should have put up a video on it, since you can't let people silence you, especially when what they're doing is the very thing that will silence a person, since if that happens, it doesn't just happen to one of us, it happens to all of us. And I know that it's not like the world came crashing down on me. It wasn't like the world was ending, but it definitely was a lot to experience at once, and having accounts with actual money in them being fucked with was very upsetting. So I obviously did take the advice that I was given, and I thought about what I wanted to say, and I did put that video out. I got so much support from long-time supporters to content creators to casual viewers, and all of that support means so much to me. I know that there are people who say that's, that are coming out and saying, you coming out and supporting me and, supporting the message and the videos and everything like that is white knighting, or they call you a simp, or whatever the new buzzword is that people love to use. That's bullshit in my opinion. It's a community sticking up for its own, and I just really wanted to thank everyone for doing that, for commenting, for liking the videos, for donating, for just supporting the channel. Of course, then, Jeremy the Quartering's video went up, and I was very thankful for that. And then later that day, Tipster's video went up, and, I definitely want to thank Tipster, so much for the financial support from him, but also his fans. And it made me understand more how we can come together as a community and fight together for the two things that I've been fighting for on this platform since the day that I started 2 years ago, which are free speech and no censorship. So I really just wanted to say thank you for anyone that's new. Thank you if you're a longtime supporter, if you watch the videos, or if you're even here in the live stream, or if you're watching the live stream back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. So, before we get into the topics, I wanted to chat with you guys for a few minutes. Before we do, nobody knows IT security better than me, so hit me up if you got ongoing account security problems. Thank you, Des. I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I said it in the video, but I wasn't going to put up a video on, being threatened and being hacked. I had posted the email that I received on Twitter. I kind of just wanted to leave it at that, but then the next day when my accounts got hacked, I felt like it just went so much further, and I didn't want to talk about it initially, but after talking to some people, I just decided I was going to do it. I'm not someone that wants to back down. If you have criticisms of me, that's okay. And I'm going to stand up for myself. I think being hacked maybe was a step or two too far. If you have a problem with me, it's not like I silence criticism. I let you guys leave comments. You come in, to the chat. You can come into my Discord server. You can message me on Twitter. You can retweet things with your opinions. I'm not someone that silences people in their opinions. I believe very strongly in people being allowed to have their opinions. But the person that sent me that email deleted their email very quick after, because I actually tried to respond with "Okay, Carol Baskin," and it didn't go through. I was 90% sure it wasn't going to go through, so I said "Okay, Carol Baskin," but it didn't go through. Imagine if that went through. I'm sorry, that would have been great. It's true. It's true. What they did to me was what Carol Baskin would do. Anyway. Bounding and the Fandom Menace are both strongly behind you. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. Everyone has the right to speak for themselves except Carol Baskin. I did. That's what I responded with. Okay, Carol Baskin. But no, the email was already deleted, so it is what it is. But yeah, as a content creator and a public figure, I find criticism to be so important. Like, I've had people criticize my videos or criticize things that I've said, and I've grown from that as a content creator. Like, it's important to be able to take criticism and receive it openly, and to me that's important. I know some other creators think, like, if you have an opinion, keep it to yourself, fuck you. That's definitely not who I am, and I feel like I've never been that way on my channel. So it was important to me to just, it sounds cheesy, but defend myself when it came to the, the hacking and threatened situation. It's a little bit cheesy. Oh my gosh, you have to defend yourself. I'm white knighting and simping for myself, you guys. It's exposed. It's exposed. No idea who Carol Baskin is, so jeez, I can't explain it. Basically, murdered her husband, is a hypocrite and, well, allegedly murdered her husband, is a hypocrite and, allegedly crazy. Anyway, we don't need to talk about who the fuck Carol Baskin is. Unless she's here in chat. Please put an X in chat if you're Carol Baskin. Would love to talk to you. You a simp? Yeah, I'm a simp for myself, guys. Let me see. Sims hacking Vera's credit card to buy oil futures? Yeah. Hello, Doc. How are you doing? You can go full anti-Carol and get a teeny super small cat. Teeny super small cat? Sounds amazing. I love it. I love it. Oh, fuck. I shouldn't have said put an X in chat if you're Carol Baskin. Well, I know it's definitely not you, Grizz. I know it's definitely not you, Doc. I know it's definitely not you, Rez. An O? You put an O in chat. That's what Carol Baskin would do. Oh, fuck. Damn you. Okay. Carol fucking Baskin. Alright, guys. We shall get started on the first topic of the night. Well, the second topic, I guess, technically. Let me just get this. There we go. Resized. Re-good. X for life. Yeah, for sure. Alright, you guys. So the first topic that we are going to discuss tonight is the box office, Hollywood, and movie theaters. Obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic, the future of kind of the movie industry has really been up in the air. There's been so many situations with, movies being delayed, canceled, held back, productions. Every company in Hollywood and in the entertainment industry really is suffering and is hurting financially because of the coronavirus pandemic. I know that they just announced it a little while ago, but the Batman was actually held back until like October 21st, 2021, when it was supposed to come out at the beginning of 2021. So we're seeing a big delay in even that too, probably because they're still filming. But a lot of industries are hurting right now because of the coronavirus pandemic. But one one group is hurt the most, that is movie theaters. Movie theaters are really in for it with this because there's no way for them to stay open. If the article will get into it, but if you look at like movies and you look at Netflix, all of their things can go to VOD. The movie theaters, though, they are truly the middleman that gets the short end of the stick. So box office, movie theaters may return, but theatrical cinema might not survive. This is a Forbes article. If any of you want it in chat, let me know. The coronavirus pandemic may hasten the grim future where movie theaters only exist for the very biggest blockbusters, franchises, and cinematic tentpoles, while everything else is produced for streaming platforms. Now, we've seen this a lot. A lot of franchises, characters, companies go to streaming platforms because a lot of companies do view streaming platforms as a tool to make more money, which we will talk about in a minute. But poor movie theaters, in a way. Domestic theatrical movie-going grossed $11.4 billion in 2019, with global earnings topping $42.5 billion. Even with AMC hoping that Wanda comes to its rescue as Cinemark lays off 17,500 employees and furloughs 50% of its staff, movie theaters presumably won't just disappear. Those are big numbers. 17,000 employees. When studios talk about lessening the window between theaters and post-theatrical revenue streams, VOD, DVDs, etc., they are trying to have their cake and eat it too. They want top-tier theatrical box office and top-tier post-theatrical revenue without any lag time. 100%. Yes, that is have your cake and eat it too. Exactly. I agree. If Warner Brothers could release a movie like Tenet or Wonder Woman 1984 straight to a premium VOD strategy currently being tested by Universal, $20 for 48 hours, and reap anywhere near the expected theatrical earnings, $650 million to $1.1 billion, well, we wouldn't have movie theaters. There's only been a couple of movies released directly to VOD during the coronavirus pandemic. I know that, Birds of Prey was released after like 3 weeks of being in the movie theaters and flopping. I know that Invisible Man, he was in the movie theater for 2 weeks, I want to say. Or maybe it was a month, and then was put onto VOD, and now we're seeing movies go directly to VOD. I know that Vin Diesel's Bloodshot only had 1 weekend in the movie theater, and then they decided to scrap it and put it away. But, as it says, what it doesn't say, I should say, is the fact that we don't know how much money those movies made going basically directly to VOD. They're not going to release those numbers anytime soon, I would doubt. But we haven't seen those numbers yet, and it would be very interesting, too, to see how popular this $20 for 48 hours worth of access is. But for a lot of families, that's a lot cheaper than going to the movies. I mean, a movie ticket is $10 to $15 in most places. 2 people going, maybe even 3 people going if you have to bring your family to the movie theater, never mind buying snacks and drinks. It's an expensive endeavor now. It's not as cheap as it used to be. That's for sure. It continues with chatter about tradition and the purity of the theatrical experience notwithstanding, movie theaters still exist because the big studio movies earn vast amounts of cash worldwide via first-run theatrical distribution. There are a few titles like Avatar and Frozen, both which topped 400 million in domestic Avatar and Frozen, both of which topped 400 million in domestic DVD/Blu-ray revenue, that have earned post-theatrical revenue comparable to top-tier box office. However, A, those are exceptions. Why are they exceptions? And B, those successes only took place after ridiculously strong theatrical runs. That's very true. I mean, Avatar for so many years was the highest grossing film, and then we have Frozen, which, holy shit, Frozen was nuts. I mean, how much did Frozen end up doing? Frozen, let's just look at domestic. Frozen domestically, that's Frozen 2. We don't need Frozen 2. When did I ask you for the bad Frozen movie? I mean, the good Frozen movie, damn it. Frozen made... That's Frozen 2. Domestic was like $400 million from what I see, which is really good. That's not even, you know, international, but as long as studios can still make a lot of money releasing their tentpole flicks in theaters and VOD versus just VOD, theaters will have a commercial purpose. Does that mean movie theaters will exit the storm bigger and better than ever? Well, probably not, especially if you're an IMAX theater. The comparison I've long made is the notion of movie theaters turning into the equivalent of video game arcades. This is a very interesting argument that I haven't seen a lot of people make. While arcades thrived in the 70s and 80s, once home consoles, Nintendo, Sega, etc., got to the point where they could successfully approximate any successful arcade game, the need to go to arcades nearly evaporated overnight. It's one thing when Nintendo offers a downscaled and compromised version of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. It's another when Super Nintendo provides almost identical adaptations of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Once home consoles were able to approximate and then surpass the conventional arcade game, the arcades were only of value for nostalgia and immersive experiences, such as driving games, shooting games, etc., that you couldn't approximate at home. Now, I do think that this is a fair comparison, but there is a huge difference in the money that arcades had compared to the money in movies and in Netflix. I mean, obviously we're talking about arcades, which were bigger in like the 70s and 80s, and the value of the dollar is different and all of these things. But the amount of money that they were talking about then with arcades compared to things like movies and Netflix and Hulu and these streaming services and VODs now are completely different. Video game companies ended up not seeing the ability to make a great amount of money from arcades, so it became an afterthought. But movie companies see things now like VODs as an accompanying way to make money, which is a very smart way to do it. It's better to not cut off one source of revenue when you could just have both going at the same time. I think that that's fair logic, but we're also viewed arcades versus things, you know, like movie theaters. They are viewed very differently, but it is a pretty fair comparison in my opinion. Hollywood has been struggling with competition from streaming films and TV shows, along with old school TV that can approximate in terms of production value, scales, writing, and star power 95% of what you would find in movie theaters. I don't know about that. I do think a big difference between like the big box office, like movie theaters, compared to things that go directly to Netflix. Yes, Netflix puts huge budgets into their productions, but I don't think we're gonna see anything like Avatar or like Infinity War on these streaming services. I do think that there still is a bit of a gap in quality sometimes. I would say 70% of the films that come out, you know, in movie theaters could compete with Netflix, and Netflix could compete with them. But I do think that there are still those couple of situations where that gap is really big in Netflix and going straight to those services that don't accommodate yet. This isn't a new issue, it says, as sitcoms like Friends and crime procedurals like Law and Order have been making cinematic comedies and cinematic cop dramas / legal thrillers redundant for decades. But now, especially in the last 5 years, the only thing that movie theaters can offer over Netflix or HBO is mega budget, as it says, / top tier blockbuster spectacle delivered on a giant screen. Okay, it follows up with what I said. Audiences have concurrently abandoned the idea of seeing non-tentpoles in theaters, preferring to binge at home. Meanwhile, the fantastical likes of The Witcher, The Mandalorian, Legends of Tomorrow are closing the gap. The Witcher, yes. Mandalorian, yes. Legends of Tomorrow? Ooh, I don't... See, if I was writing an article like this, I don't really know if I'd use Legends of Tomorrow. as a fair comparison, but they do go into the CW superhero shows, which, in my opinion, are of very poor quality. The writing needs to get a little bit better. CW superhero shows can't compete with Aquaman for scale and action set pieces, but Arrow and The Flash are close enough while approximating the soap opera in tights aspect of the serialized comic book storytelling. I do agree with this again to an extent. Because while, yes, they can capture the audience they're going after, I don't even think the story of these things would ever compare to something like Aquaman. In like The Batman. The writing is on a very different level as well. Very different level as well. The action may be smaller, the scale may be slighter, however, you get a focus on character, and due to not having the appeal to global audiences, an ability to steal Hollywood's big screen thunder in terms of diversity and LGBTQIA representation. I don't watch my superhero shows for diversity and LGBTQIA representation. I mean, it's great to have those things in it. I have no problems with diversity and inclusivity. But, again, sad to say, The Mandalorian being better than The Rise of Skywalker may have sealed the deal. I love it. Oh, Forbes. Oh, Forbes. Who wrote this article? Scott Mendelson, you deserve a little bit of a raise, my friend. It's so true. So true. At least one journalist is it calls it like he sees it. Hollywood's relative abandonment of spurred by moviegoers' concurrent apathy for adult skewing, non-franchise and or star-driven studio programs has led many of the biggest and brightest filmmakers and movie stars to television shows and streaming movies. Such offerings now being available at home has decimated the financial theatrical potential of what used to be a movie. The 2018 domestic box office was around $11.863 billion, which was a 7% jump from 2017's $11 billion. The total number of tickets was 1.2 billion, down from the peak of 1.575 billion in 2002, but almost tied with the 1.202 billion sold in 1993, the year of Jurassic Park. Fucking Jurassic Park, you guys. Those damn dinosaurs, they always make money. Always. When you need a good idea, unless you're Wizards of the Coast, always go dinosaurs and big creatures. The difference is that, as it has been the case at least since 2015, far more tickets are being sold for a handful of significant tentpole movies. Whew. Audiences are gravitating to Marvel/DC superhero movies, marquee animated flicks, and big horror movies, with occasional breakouts for star-driven action movies and live-action musicals. I'm going to be doing a video on this. If you guys want to see it, please put an X in chat. Would you guys want to see me do a video on Marvel and DC and how I think that superhero movies and franchises are starting to be overdone? I truly believe that. Maybe you guys don't. I think that the whole superhero thing is getting worn out for a lot of people. We've seen with shows mainly, like the CW shows, the ratings drop, the viewer numbers drop. Obviously, when you have huge productions, like, Infinity War and stuff, they're gonna make good money. I just think that in the next 5 years, people are going to be completely worn out with these movies. There were hopeful signs in successful runs for things like Knives Out, 1917, Little Women, and domestically Ford vs. Ferrari. A glorified live-action musical it may be, but Bohemian Rhapsody earned $905 million worldwide in late 2018 to early 2019. Holy shit, did it? I didn't know it made that much money. What? Damn. Are the successes of John Wick Chapter 3, Uncut Gems, Baby Driver, and Dunkirk signs of hope, or periodic water bottles found in a perpetual desert? I fear that the current storm will only hasten the long-predicted endgame. Moreover, 2022, when possible release date delays now notwithstanding, Jurassic, Fast and Furious, Mission Impossible, and Daniel Craig 007 runs has wrapped up, and after Disney has remade the key 1989 to 1999 era Disney tunes, there may not be any big franchises with mega appeal outside of hopefully Avatar and the DC/Marvel brands. Very interesting. I could agree with that. You know, we've seen so many companies, and I mean, we've seen companies and we've seen movie producers. They can't come up, I have to be honest, they can't come up with original ideas, so they keep remaking the things that they know that sell. I personally think that people are going to get sick of this eventually. In the next 5 years, I don't think that people are going to want a 12th Fast and Furious. People aren't going to want another 007. People aren't going to want another Jurassic Park. Tommy Tallarico is here. Guys, I actually got this today. I showed it in Discord. I actually got my mug in. I haven't gotten any of the other the items yet, so I haven't showed them yet. But I actually got my my Intellivision mug today. I put it right behind me, as you guys can see. I haven't used it yet. I need to break it in with, I don't know, something. But I did put it behind me. Thank you, Tommy, for that. Once I get my sweatshirt in, it's gonna be a party. But welcome, Tommy. I hope you're doing good. As the article continues, though, in the darkest timeline prediction, one that the coronavirus may merely have sped up, movie theaters would become video game arcades, only existing to show the biggest, most immersive tentpole movies in a way that couldn't be approximated at home. Much of that is the fault of moviegoers who have gone out of their way to avoid the very thing they complain Hollywood no longer makes. Once again, online demands do not correlate with the general audience interest. Folks who would still see the very biggest movies, Tenet, Fast and Furious 9, Mulan, almost everything else would be created for streaming/VOD consumption. So that's the end of the article. It's hard to say with movie theaters because yes, I do think that a lot of them will come back after the coronavirus pandemic and they'll do just fine. But right now, a lot of these companies are having to take out huge loans and they're going in debt a lot. And I know that there are states and there are places that are trying to slowly, get life back to normal. They're trying to phase back in, going to the movie theaters, going to the stores, not having to wear masks, but not getting people sick. I just think that movie theaters, even if, everything opens up back to normal and, movie theaters are able to open, but they can only have half of the number of people in the theaters, I don't think that people are going to go to the movie theaters for a while. It's hard to say. The entertainment industry is always changing, but at the end of the year, we're going to see a big drought in movies because so many companies have to hold back production because they're not producing movies right now. They're not editing them, they're not filming them, so we're gonna see, I think, quite a drought in movies. But let me know your thoughts in the stream, you guys. I'm curious. Spider-Man versus Batman would be, I think that would be cool. I guess it depends on which characters we're seeing, though. I did mention this at the beginning, though, but unfortunately the Batman that was supposed to come out at the beginning of 2021, they did announce will come out in October 2021. Disappointed. I mean, obviously, I want actors and I want, people to be safe. Just saying, as someone that consumes this stuff up like soup, I'm a little disappointed. Okay, just a little bit. No Ben Affleck, please. I actually really liked Ben Affleck. Personally, I'm a Val Kilmer type of girl. We don't need to get into that conversation, you guys, but I've voiced my opinions. Val Kilmer. Why wasn't Kyle MacLachlan ever a Batman? I know he was Paul Atreides, but Paul Atreides wasn't good enough. Agent Dale Cooper, just... Anyway. Too much woke trash propaganda these days. You can't blame the box office crash solely. I don't know, Rez. I do think that, yes, the box office was hurting because of some of the content that was being put out, but I don't think it was all because of that. And if movie theaters, if this is going to be the downfall of movie theaters, and just cinema in general, I don't think it's based solely on what you're saying. George, George, joke, joke. What rumor? Is the rumor legit? What rumor? Whoa, wait. I heard they announced the Joker too. I think it's just a rumor. As far as I know, it's just a rumor. Yeah, it's just a rumor. I think they'll do a Joker 2 because it made so much damn money, even though it was supposed to be a standalone. Joker was great. I really did enjoy it. Honestly, I really did like it. I know a lot of people liked it. They were expecting more. I thought it was like a 9 out of 10, definitely. Let me check chat before we move to the next topic. Val Kilmer is an OG boss. Best. Movie theaters are done. You guys, for everyone that's here, put a 1 in chat if you think movie theaters are done. If you think that they will never recover, put a 2 in chat if you think that they will recover, even if it's a slow incline. If you think they'll recover too, if you think the movies are done, the entertainment industry is falling apart, put a 1. Batman sparkles now? Oh no. Robert Pattinson is not a bad actor. He did recently, like, The Lighthouse. Really great film. It was a really odd movie. I really liked it. I'm kind of into that stuff, as you guys can tell by my Twin Peaks and David Lynch Dune references. I'm into that type of stuff. Ooh, you guys are actually really split on this. Ooh. Interesting. Cinder, you need to watch The Joker. Cinder, come on, my friend. It's not much to ask. It was really good. Let me see. Vera likes the pretty boys. Yeah, Val Kilmer was a very pretty boy. Yeah, he was. Ooh, you guys are pretty mixed. A lot of you do think that movie theaters will be fine and they'll slowly incline back. I think that the industry is so big at this point, I don't think that the industry is just going to fall apart. I think to get back to where they were, though, maybe it would take a decent amount of time. You can watch it at home, Cinder. I'll mail you a copy of The Joker, my friend. To my Canadian friend, I'll mail you a copy of The Joker. I could. Alright, you guys, let's move on to the second topic of, well, it's second/third. I did the big thank you at the beginning, but we'll move on to the next one. The casting for Catwoman, though, I mean, I want to see, obviously, I want to see her acting. That would be great. I don't want to judge an actress just by her looks. I want to see her performance, too. Let me bring this up. Okay, hello. Okay, if you could not give me 40 ads when I click your article, that'd be great. This is a bleeding cool article. If any of you guys want it in chat, please let me know. The industry is going to deliver movies straight to Disney Plus. Cinemas will die, but movies will go on. I mean, so many companies have their own, like, streaming services and on-demand services now. Then maybe we'll see more things released directly to those. Who knows? Alright. Mark Hamill, Joker, best Joker? Yeah, pretty good. Alright, so the next topic we are going to discuss is China. I have discussed China quite a few times on the channel. I obviously am very opinionated when it comes to China and how they, restrict what people do, what people watch, the activities people can partake in. But China is actually planning on banning international online gaming. A couple of days ago, I discussed the situation with Animal Crossing because there were people going into Animal Crossing and using the customization systems where they were putting things on like signs and towels, free Hong Kong, revolution of our age and whatnot. They actually banned third-party sellers from selling Animal Crossing. Now, Nintendo is teaming up with Tencent to bring the Nintendo Switch and also Animal Crossing to the Switch in China, which we don't know this for sure, but I would assume that when it officially releases in China, those features will be removed now. But China is planning banning international online gaming. So, it looks like China is on the verge of doing one of the biggest video game bans in a long time, as they're about to shut down online gaming, international online gaming. The country recently took action against players in Hong Kong by banning the sale of Animal Crossing New Horizons after players used the creative features to stage online protests. Another ploy to silence people in their country about the Free Hong Kong movement. Now, it looks like the country has had enough of what's been going on with online gaming altogether and are planning to curb what they feel is both an internal and international influence. Details have emerged about a new plan from the Chinese Communist Party about something called the Game Regulatory Notice. According to SINA, who have published the lengthy document on what will be imposed onto players, the government is going after all aspects, including game publishers, operations, online content, and the regulation of information. Here's a snippet of what is in it. I'll read through it really quickly. It says change the skin and declare the version numbers at the same time in multiple places, or change the name of the game as already obtained the version number, and you will face corresponding penalties, such as suspension of the publishing business for 6 months. There will be corresponding punishment for the online version of the game, such as revoking the version number that has been obtained, removing the game from the entire network, and criticizing the publisher to suspend the publishing business, etc. It is not allowed to plant illegal advertisements in the game. For example, if you promote unapproved game advertisements, you will be held accountable if found. It is not allowed to promote the global service function in the game. If there is any, you should go online and delete the relevant function in time, and the National Press and Publication Administration will set up special inspections on the real name authentication of game companies and the setting of minor systems by June. It's a very short article because unfortunately, we really don't know about the depths and the lengths that China is going to go besides hearing this. But it says the biggest thing in there that people should take note is that China will now force anyone playing online to use their real names as usernames. Now, I think that this is absolutely ridiculous. People go online for anonymity. A lot of people use usernames so that you cannot find out who they really are, their real information. It makes people feel more comfortable. If you're meeting strangers, you probably don't want them to know your real name while you're online. But they are now forcing anyone playing online to use their real names as usernames, basically so they can monitor what you're saying and what you're doing. In other words, if you decide to violate their rules, they now have the ability to track you down by your real name, along with all of your digital info. A practice that, if anyone in the US were forced to do, would send a lot of people off the deep end. Well, of course it would. We'll see how these changes affect gamers moving forward, but it may be safe to say that some publishers are about to look at China with new eyes as to how they decide to conduct business. Oh, I don't agree. Gaming is a very big industry within the country, and if a game is red hot, it can make a company millions before they ever make that in North America or Europe. But if restrictions like this get too cost effective for them to do business there, you could see companies pull out and refuse to do any business in China until the government makes changes. Bullshit. So many companies want into that sweet, sweet Chinese market because there's so many gamers there. They see it as untapped potential. We aren't going to see Blizzard pull out of their regions. We aren't going to see any of these large companies. I say Blizzard because we know how Blizzard has acted in the past year. But none of these companies are going to pull out of China. They have fought so hard to make their way into that damn market. Why would they pull out? A lot of these companies have Chinese investors. Maybe they own 5% of the company. Maybe they own a lot. Maybe it's a situation like Riot Games where a Chinese company purchases outright the company and owns 100% of it. I do not think that any companies that are in the Chinese market will pull out unless something so drastic and ridiculous happened. I don't see it. I don't see them doing it. I just don't. So many companies have fought their way into that market. They're not going to just give it up now. That would be such a loss. They've put so much time and money into trying to capitalize these markets. I mean, we've seen companies like Blizzard even censor their games and censor content so that it makes its way into the Chinese market. I mean, we even see that with movies and in the film industry. There are so many companies that decide, well, we really want this movie to go international. We don't want it to be banned in this region, so we're just going to change things and censor things. I mean, look at Mulan. They drastically changed the plot for Mulan so that they could, one, capitalize on what they see as the Western market, which is like, oh, hashtag me too. We don't want to offend anyone because she falls in love with Li Shang and all of these things. But they also had to change the plot heavily because it needed to be what China saw as historically accurate, even though it's a kids movie, or it's a remake of a kids movie that was rated E for everyone. It was rated PG for all audiences. I keep saying E for everyone. Video games, guys. But seriously, I don't think any of these companies that are in any of these industries are going to pull out just because China does something shitty, because we've seen their authoritarian bullshit and we've seen the things that they're willing to do. So that's all that I really had to say on China planning on banning international online gaming. They're making people use their real names. They're going to ban international gaming, which is ridiculous. People should be able to play with other people, but they're just trying to save their own asses, I suppose. Let me check chat. I did the other day a full video on Animal Crossing, so if you want to check that out, please go check it out. It is like the third last video that I created, I do believe, besides live streams. So yeah, let me check chat really quickly. Can't have people expressing themselves. Yeah, unfortunately, fortunately that can't happen. Sup, welcome to the stream. I hope that you're doing well. China doesn't know about RoboCop. Don't tell them. We just started paying to translate our games to Chinese. There's basically zero hope for us getting an official release in China. Yeah, to get an official release in China, you have to be in with a Chinese company. I mean, we've seen that with like Blizzard and all of these companies. You have to be in with a Chinese company. It's very difficult to get any of your content released there. Original Mulan was great. Yeah, the original Mulan was great. I'm very sad to know that they've decided to change the plot and change so many things in it just because they can. Just because they want to appeal to that sweet, sweet market. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Rise of Skywalker thing. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of people say that, you know, the Chinese ban thing is good for us because you don't have as many, you know, hackers in the game. People are gonna hack even if they're not in China. You're still gonna have hackers. I don't want to view it as that. I don't want to view it as a positive thing. I don't think in any way it's something we should praise. Just my opinion, though. That's how I view it. No make a... Yeah! No make a man out of you. None of these good songs. Why even remake something if you're gonna change 80% of it? Give me my Disney songs or give me death. Okay? Boycott. I'm just kidding. Alright, you guys, we are going to move into the Last of Us HBO rumors. These are just rumors. We are just speculating on how we would feel about these rumors. These are not confirmed at all in any way. Whoa, that's small. I just made that really small. All right, that's better. HBO, as some of you know, is developing a Last of Us TV series. They announced it, I believe, a month ago when they were trying to hype up The Last of Us 2, which was infinitely delayed. We've heard quite a few interesting plot rumors about The Last of Us Part 2. And these are more rumors about HBO's The Last of Us may focus on climate change and rape culture. A source close to productions claims that the new HBO series will be like a darker and more divisive version of AMC's The Walking Dead. Hearing that sounds good, but then when you really dig into the detail, it doesn't. I would love a darker, grittier version of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead turned into a joke after 4 seasons, maybe 5 seasons. The Last of Us is getting the TV treatment and is currently in pre-production at HBO. An insider has reached out to us alleging that the new series will focus on some divisive political issues such as rape culture and climate change. Although there has been no real information revealed about the on-screen adaptation of the popular Naughty Dog game, The Last of Us, HBO have officially announced that it is currently in pre-production. So, a source close to production revealed that Ellie will be the main protagonist in a heavily female-focused plot. Ellie will be joined by her first girlfriend, Riley, as well as Tess Marlene Maria, an insider told us. Men, while some indirectly, will collectively play the part of the antagonist. So we see so many shows and movies. Producers, directors say we want to make our films and our content as inclusive and diverse as we can. I'm going to say it in case you're new here. I'm okay with diversity. I am okay with inclusivity. I'm not anti-male. I'm not anti-female. Sometimes people say I have a misogynistic brain. Having something that is female-focused isn't diverse. That's not diversity by any means. Making 90% of the characters female and the last 10% males that are evil isn't a good look. They're saying that they're possibly making this, heavily female-focused. Why does it have to be focused on gender? Just make it character-focused and character-driven. You preach diversity, yet this isn't diverse. This isn't inclusive. This isn't any of those things. It was the action of the patriarchy, or rather white men, that inadvertently destroyed the society they had built with the brain infection, the CBI, which it will say. According to the insider, the CBI was made by the US government, but evolved too quickly for them to control and accidentally leaked into the environment. Oh boy. Okay. Global warming caused the man-made CBI virus to rapidly evolve. It is actually naturally evolving to purify the air of carbon. This will be revealed through small flashback scenes, which will gradually reveal more information as the series draws nearer to its finale. Now, climate change can be used to describe how your world is formed, like for the apocalypse, maybe the climate change was part of it, but if you start using that to push a narrative for how people should live in the real world, that's dumb, because that's what they're doing. They're not, making this the story points or the plot points because it develops the story more. They're doing it to be divisive. And when it comes to rape culture, this is a very sensitive topic, but rape culture donation.
That's great and all, but what about that Seinfeld video game in your ad bar?
What? Seinfeld video game. There's a Seinfeld video game? What? I didn't see it. What do you mean? In your ad bar. I don't see it. Where? Damn. I get all the bad ads all the time. Thank you for the $10 donation, Rhett. I very much so appreciate it. Thank you. Getting into the topic of rape culture, though, which is a touchy subject, rape can be used as a plot device. It's rumored that that's going to happen in The Last of Us Part 2 with Ellie. It can help define a character. We've seen it so many times, you know, those things do help progress a character's story, but to use it as a central theme for your world is ludicrous. It's a plot device, not a world theme, and with hearing these rumors, I'm worried. I like The Last of Us. I like The Last of Us 1. I'm excited to see what the show will be. I'm excited to see what The Last of Us Part 2 will be. But unfortunately, these rumors are very heavy rumors. And yes, it's a rumor. It may not be true. None of this may be true. The rumors with The Last of Us 2 may not be true. But it honestly doesn't sound very surprising. We've seen so many, you know, producers and writers try to put divisive political issues into entertainment. I don't want that in my entertainment, and I know a lot of you probably don't want it in your entertainment either. If this was how they're going to play out The Last of Us, the HBO show, I wouldn't be very interested in it. In the end, rumors, we'll have to see what happens, but what do you guys think of it? The Last of Us 2 rape world? I know that these are very heavy topics. I mean, it sounds like they want them to specifically kind of be heavy topics in a way, which is iffy. If that's really what you're going into your show doing because you want it to be a heavy topic, wow. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Haley Steinfeld as Ellie would be good. There are a lot of good actresses that could be Ellie. I do think that it's cool that Ellie is going to be the focus again. I mean, Ellie is a good character in my opinion. She's been really good so far. I'm curious to see how she's going to be in Part 2 and also in this. But are they really trying to bank on Ellie? Is this really the future for the game? Is, you know, this game and then the next game, if they do a Part 3, is that going to be Ellie focused too? Are they making the trilogy about her? Ultimately, we don't know. When you make rape a world theme, you are pretty much saying men are bad, all of them. Well, especially with the fact that it says that the men that are supposed to be in this show, men while summoned directly, will collectively play the part of the antagonist. They're saying that they're making men the bad guys. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see constantly, you know, shows saying, oh, you know, damn, men are bad. I don't think men are bad. And I don't want to watch that in my entertainment. It's not even becoming entertainment at this point. It's becoming life lessons. They're telling you climate change is bad. You know, all these things. Yes, obviously, climate change is real. Some people think the world is flat. Some people believe the core of the earth is purple. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Don't push your own political opinions into entertainment. That's the moral of the story. HBO The Last of Us bash all men. That's what it's turning into, unfortunately. Let me check the chat really quickly. If true, let it burn. Fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion. Even though Naughty Dog made my favorite game titles like the Uncharted series and Crash Bandicoot in the 90s and early 2000s, I hope they don't mess up The Last of Us Part 2. Agreed. I don't want to see The Last of Us Part 2 messed up. I want to see The Last of Us Part 2 come out and be an amazing game. I would love to play it, and I would love for it to be really good. Lecture theater. They should just make a genre of, like, politically divisive shows and entertainment and call it something like that. Like lecture theater. They should just make their own category. Go ahead. If you do that, I'm all for it. Don't mess up pre-existing franchises, though, because you're unoriginal and you can't create anything new. Story of our lives, you guys. Story of the life. Alright, let's move into the last topic for the night, you guys. If I can click it, and if it will click me? I don't think that made very much sense. Alright. Let's hope the game comes out before the series so it doesn't mess the sales. I mean, who knows what's going to happen to the sales? Maybe the game itself will be bad. Whoa, my screen is blinking. Hello, please stop blinking. Chill. Alright, so the ADL, or the Anti-Defamation League, wants to combat hate and harassment in video games. And they are specifically targeting Valve now. This is a Bounding Into Comics article in case any of you want it. The Anti-Defamation League Center for Technology and Society Assistant Director Daniel Kelly indicated the organization is specifically gearing up to tackle hate and harassment in video games with a specific focus on Valve. I just want to say, this organization, the ADL, has traditionally done very good things. They've defended people against racism and anti-Semitism. But as we've come into today, they've just gone off their rocker. Honestly, they have done the same thing which PETA has done, and that is make almost a mockery of themselves at this point in media. You look at PETA now, and you don't take anything they say seriously. And that's what the ADL is doing, you know. They went from an organization that fought for all of these things, like hate, they fought hate and anti-Semitism, to a troll. And one that, and in my opinion, when that happens, your message as a whole is just completely lost and thrown in the garbage. So, as Reclaim the Net notes, the ADL is no stranger in going after companies when it comes to stamping out what they claim as hate. In June 2019, the ADL CEO and national director confirmed they were working with YouTube to counter hate. He stated online hate and extremism pose a significant threat, weaponizing bigotry against marginalized communities, silencing voices through intimidation, I know what that's like, and acting as recruiting tools for hateful fringe groups. He added, that's why the ADL has been working with technology companies, including YouTube, to aggressively counter hate on their platforms. We were glad to share our expertise on this and look forward to continuing to provide input. He concluded with, while this is an important step forward, this move alone is insufficient and must be followed by many more changes from YouTube and other tech companies to adequately counter the scourge of online hate and extremism. I just want to say, every community in the world has some form of hatred in it. It could be one person. There is hatred, unfortunately, in everything. Not just gaming, not just online chat rooms, you know, not just Discord communities, not just YouTube. In every group in the world that has ever existed, there's been some form of hate. I'm not saying that's good. Just pointing out the obvious. As for one of their next objectives, Kelly makes it clear it's video games and they plan on specifically targeting Valve in an interview with GamesIndustry.biz. I found this interesting. Going after Valve. One of the biggest issues he thinks the gaming industry faces is the fact that they aren't just creating a product, but many of them are also creating online spaces. You can't tell people what to think or how to think. You guys are here in my chat. We all have very different opinions on things. I can't tell you guys to think a certain way. I can't say if you're going to be part of this community, you have to think the exact same way as me or fucking leave. It doesn't work that way. In everything, ever. People have differing opinions. It's just the way that it is. And they can't go into this saying, game developers have created this game. Therefore, they are responsible for the audiences that play. I mean, I could go and buy an EA game, and I could go in their chat room and say, fuck you guys. I don't like any of you here in the online chat room. That can't go on EA, though. Because that's just my opinion. It's It's hard to explain, but I think you guys know where I'm coming from. He explained the games industry is creating social spaces. Online games are social spaces, so the responsibility for the form that hate and harassment take in those spaces is the responsibility of the companies that make those games. That's not how this works. EA can't say, unless you agree to this, this, and this, get off our game, because if I go out and buy the game, I guess they could ban me. But they can't say, you can't go to Walmart and buy our game. Because I could go to Walmart and buy their game, even if I have different opinions than what's in their terms of service. There are plenty of people on online platforms, like on Xbox Live Chat, that say profanities and say awful things, and unless they get banned, you can't tell them they can't think that way and that they can't play your game. They continue with, I think it is important that companies use their public voice in this realm and put on their platform, we don't allow hate speech. And here's what we mean by hate speech. Yes, companies are free to do that. But are they going to keep up with everyone that is on their platform or in their game that may say, oh, fuck you, you're a girl, I don't like you? You know? He then calls for video game developers to work collectively and create a rule set around policy and enforcement. No company is going to think the same way as another company. We are not going to get every game developer in the center of put into the center of the universe and say, listen, you have to make your policies X, Y, and Z. That's not going to happen. That's not how this works. If the game industry were able to come together and collectively, or with select individual companies to start, really share data with the public and society about the problem, I think that would be a huge step forward. But of course, to do that, they would need to create a rule set around policy and enforcement on their platforms in ways that are much more robust than they have now. One of the methods he thinks is successful and should be more broadly adapted are reform policies that have been implemented by Roblox and Fair Play Alliance. I wonder if Tommy Tallarico is still in the chat. I haven't seen him talk in a while, but Roblox. This is an area where I feel the game industry has done a lot more thinking than social media. In the social media world, there isn't this discussion of how do we reform bad actors. I think that speaks more to games as a culture versus social media as platforms. He continues to promote the idea of reforming folks. You can't reform people. People are free to think the way they want to think and say what they say. I may not support what someone else in this chat may say. They may not support what I say, but you can't just reform people. This isn't China. If we're building this interactive space, how do we not just kick out the worst of the worst? But what is that pathway to radicalization or the pathway to reforming folks in these spaces? It's a super interesting question. It requires more research and it requires more transparency from the game industry to say, we tried X and it didn't work, or it did work and here's how you can replicate it in your game. God. We want to reform people? That is like one of the worst words to use. Reform. One of the biggest trouble spots in the gaming world for Kelly is Valve, the company behind Steam. I would say Valve absolutely. Valve has been actively pushing against this kind of work. At the same time, Discord and Twitch were expanding their policies around hate, harassment, and extremism, and that was around the same time that Valve was like, we allow everything except for trolling and illegal content, which isn't true. They don't do that. They censor games they want to censor. They tell developers, you can't put this on our platform because we don't like it. That's not the way they work. They really don't work that way. Sorry. They're a company that does what they want. As Reclaim the Net's writer notes, as gamers will know, Valve is not even coming close to living up to that promise of allowing all that's legal and instead, like the rest of the industry, banning people and closing accounts on suspicious grounds. Nevertheless, Kelly believes Valve has a long way to go. From my understanding, there are a lot of efforts going on at a lot of companies, but in my mind, Valve has the longest way to go. Valve isn't the only company that he took issue with. He also took issue with Blizzard. Specifically, Overwatch. Oh boy, a game with an online chat. In our survey, 75% of people who played Overwatch experienced harassment. They don't say what they count as harassment. I've gone into voice chat on Overwatch and I've probably been called a bitch. That's harassment. I'll sign up. I'm part of the 75%. Harassment is a very strong word, and friendly banter shouldn't be seen as harassment. Yeah, someone might call you, a bitch or, a penis online. That's not... There's a difference between calling someone a name and just kind of being mean compared to harassment. I don't think they are being very specific with what they mean when they say 75% of people who have played Overwatch have experienced harassment. It finishes up with, what do you make of his comments? Do you expect game developers and companies to work with the ADL to working on removing hate from video games? I think that the problem here is the reform statement. They want to reform people. Like I said at the beginning, all the ADL does now is troll media. Unfortunately, just like PETA has, they went from an organization that was very important that fought hate, racism, anti-Semitism to a troll. And when that happens, your message is completely lost, and they look like they've gone off their rocker. But let me know your thoughts in the stream chat, you guys, in the comments. But that was the last topic for the night. So we discussed China banning international gaming, the ADL wanting to combat hate and harassment. We discussed HBO's The Last of Us show rumors, and of course at the beginning I gave you guys a big thank you. And I'll say it again, if you guys are new here, if you've subscribed over the past couple of weeks, if you're a new supporter, thank you so much for subscribing and joining the stream. I do appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give the stream a like. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I'm going to move to the Q&A portion of the live stream, you guys. I will be looking at just the chat for about 10 minutes. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to make them now. I'll do my best to read as many as I can. I've been subbed since 2018. 2018? That was like when I just started. I started like the very end of 2018. I really started making consistent content. I did make a video on Dune and my initial thoughts. While I'm excited because I really like Dune, I am worried. Hearing the things that actresses are saying and how they want to put a focus on females and the gender race swapping, I am worried, but I'm still optimistic. I may be worried at times, yes, you guys, but that doesn't mean that I want it to fail. I may say this sounds like a shitty idea, but I may see it on the big screen and go, oh my god, that was amazing. I'm still optimistic. Will playing Echo in Overwatch be considered trolling? Yes, because she's too sexualized. I made a video on that a couple weeks ago. People were attacking Echo's design saying she's too sexualized. This is disgusting. Bleh. Basically. So yeah. You're probably anti-woman if you play Echo. Even though I'm a woman. I'd probably be seen as a misogynist. I subbed about 3 hours ago. Heard about your channel from the courting. Well, thank you for subscribing. I do very much so appreciate it. I've known Jeremy from the quartering for a while now. And I really appreciate his support in making the video. And Tipster as well. Tipster had made a video, which I do appreciate. Let me check. Yeah, media only wants to reform specific types of people. But the people that they want to reform is changing every day. Unfortunately. Maybe. Not the best. You're a snowflake in a safe space. Guys, this is my safe space. The Squire of Gothos, I love your name. I hadn't noticed it. Damn. This is worth... Math is racist. What? You're the real heroes here besides me. What? Who is the real heroes? Who are the real heroes besides you? Just everyone being here? Social marks. Great. Let me see. The Transformers toy? Yeah, the Transformers statue. We haven't heard anything about it. I doubt we will for a while. If that Windblade statue comes out, Bam. It's going right behind me on set. It's probably going to be like $500 though. Because their figures are very expensive. Gonna have to start a GoFundMe for Windblade. I'm kidding. But damn. PlayStation 5, Xbox, sex, or a sexy Windblade figure. It's gonna be a tough call. It's gonna be a very tough call. That's for sure. I emailed them about the Windblade figure and they said they weren't sure if they would release it. I had emailed them after I had made my initial video, and I did post it on Twitter actually. They did say they are going to make it. They said they are planning on moving forward with production, but we don't know if they will change the model at all. If they change the model, I will not purchase it. If the model is the way that they showed it originally and they don't change it, I will support them and I will buy it. Most of the time when I talk about a product or even a project that's changed, that's gotten a lot of negative attention, I try to purchase it. I know we had an artist that her art was being sold in the PlayStation store. Her name was Leah. A company stole her art and was selling it in the PlayStation store. I purchased a commission off of her. I supported her art. She's a really great artist. It is on my Twitter and also in the Discord. If the company releases it and the Windblade figure is not changed at all, I'll purchase it. It's gonna be that versus a PlayStation 5, but that's okay. Yeah, the Xbox Sex. That's basically what it's called. I can't keep up with the names of consoles anymore. Where's the VCS, you guys, by the way? Hold on. Have we heard anything about the VCS? Stop. Stop the lights. Have we heard anything about the VCS? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, the VCS looks good. Like, it's not real. I mean, allegedly. Maybe it's not real. Oh, but damn, does it look good. Ooh. $400 though? Shipping 2020. It still says shipping 2020. I don't know about that. Oh, it looks so good though. Man. Oh, it looks good. I love it. I mean, I like Atari. Amico all the way. I am excited for the Intellivision Amico. I am. I want a red one. Whoa. Some of them, honestly though, all of the Amicos look pretty good. Yeah, like looking at them again, I look at them periodically. Oh, they look good. I don't know, guys. The GTO red. I'm not into the purple, I'll be honest. Not into the purple. But the GTO red, if that doesn't scream Dark Titan, I don't know what would. I would put that on my set just because it looks like it was made for me. A VHS is better. Oh my god, the VHS is better. Oh no. Can the VCS play VHS? I love it. Oh, I love it. I don't trust anything Atari that wasn't made in... Yeah. Whatever happened with that Atari... What was Atari trying to make, like, 2 years ago? Oh, I don't remember what it was. Before the VCS, they tried to kickstart something. What was it? Oh! The watch. Yes, the Game Band. A powerful smartwatch with a built-in upgradable micro SD drive, gaming design, and exclusive content. Tommy, where's the Amico wristwatch? Oh, well, yeah, the Coleco Chameleon. We all know that one. We all know that one. I would never forget that one. The Coleco Chameleon prototype is a scam? Man. I'm not really into the purple Amico, honestly. It looks cool, But the red one looks like it was designed for Dark Titan Enterprises, and that's why I love it so much. I don't currently have an Amico pre-ordered or anything. The Atari VCS is king, the bane of the Atari 2600, but Atari's trying to release a new console called the Atari VCS, but it is a scam? Yeah. Basically. Their own cryptocurrency. Would you be interested in a custom retro arcade cabinet running all emulators on a mini Windows box? Very interested. Very interested. Would love it. Would love it. Sounds like a fun project. Buy shares in Disney now. Why? Is something happening? Is something about to go down? It would be cool if the VCS wasn't a scam, though. This is why I'm very hesitant when it comes to new consoles coming out that are, like, more retro-focused. You know, everyone's got their worries about the Amico. I have worries about the Amico. I did an interview with Tommy Tallarico. It was a great interview. The VCS, if it came out, like, if it was real, I would still have worries about it. I think the VCS is a faker-daker, though. Netflix is worth more than Disney again. Yes, it is. Netflix is worth more than Disney right now. Not surprising. Buy shares, their stock is plummeting. What's their stock at for Disney? What's their stock at? I pre-ordered the faux wood grain Amico, but would prefer the black. Pre-order up a black one. Guys, if you don't have your Intellivision Amico pre-ordered yet, go and pre-order one. I haven't pre-ordered mine yet. I haven't pre-ordered one yet. I'll be honest. I'll put my hand up and admit. But I do want to get one. I do want to get one. I'm hoping that I will get one and I'll be able to open it and show it off when it releases for you guys. They look good, though. They look good. Obviously, the Amico's not everyone's cup of tea. I have an Intellivision mug behind me. I'm obviously slightly excited. This is why Stadia is king. Oh, boy, the Stadia. Oh, how many times have I ranted about the Stadia now? Oh, my gosh. I've ranted about Stadia 20 times. Actually, probably more like 10, but don't get me started on Stadia. Ooh, that they're, like, handing out premium memberships, the pro memberships, because they can't actually get anyone to buy into it. If anyone has a Stadia, like the Chrome Cast stick, what's it called? It's not even branded it's not even branded, I don't think. It's not even Google brand, Stadia branded, I should say. I need to get one, maybe. Maybe I could do a retrospective on Stadia. Oh, how did I know Frank was going to donate? Thank you for the $3 donation, Frank. You have loved Stadia. Guys, we need to collectively come together and get Frank a Stadia. He's loved Stadia. Yeah, the Stadia was, it uses a Chromecast, but it's not, what I was saying is it's not even a branded Chromecast. It's not, like, doesn't say Stadia. It's just their generic ones. Is it true? Is what true? Have you ever played Age of Wonders Planetfall? Yes, I have. I have, actually. It's pretty good. I didn't play it on stream or anything, but I do... I have played it. I do have it. Down from just over 180. Interesting. I thought the Stadia was free now. Well, they have the free membership, but you still have to buy into it. It's slightly confusing. I'm surprised Google didn't put their brand name in it, like the Google Pixel 3 and the Google Watch and the Google Nest, aka their Alexa app machine. Yeah, they didn't. It says Google, obviously, but it doesn't say Stadia or anything. Also, welcome back, Grizz. How's your negative $30 oil doing? Oof, that was harsh. I'm sorry, friend. Time to donate to Grizz. Stadia is free. Only one thing, you need a credit card with $100. Oof. I don't trust anything that Google does at this point. Sorry, Google. Like, you've kind of screwed up your reputation in my eyes. But maybe they'll do something good at some point. Amiko sounds like a waifu. Actually, Amiko does kind of sound like a waifu now that I think about it. Once again, I am resorting to cannibalism. Damn. Doesn't sound good. Disney is releasing Mandalorian 2 later this year. As far as we know they are, obviously with things with like the coronavirus and, you know, production problems and filming problems, we don't know how... We really don't know if they'll stick to that, but right now they're saying that they're sticking to that. I liked The Mandalorian Season 1. I thought The Mandalorian Season 1 was very good. I enjoyed it. Was it as good as The Witcher? No. I do not think The Mandalorian was as good as The Witcher. Star Wars side note, though, you guys. I will say this. Do any of you play Star Wars The Old Republic, the Star Wars BioWare EA MMO? I started playing it again. I'm going through a phase. I'm playing SWTOR. It's Star Wars, so if you guys play that, hop into our Discord and let me know. I'm the best damn healer you'll ever meet. I'm gonna hold myself up to that standard. I will. Google may have abandoned their console. Google just keeps going project to project, and it's not working for them, I don't think. I preferred The Mandalorian, but you could tell it was done by different directors every episode. Yeah, I didn't like that. Obviously, I thought the show came together. I don't think it was bad. I think The Mandalorian was like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It was really good. But comparing it to, like, The Witcher was so much better, in my opinion. Stick with KOTOR. I mean, KOTOR is amazing. I've never live-streamed KOTOR. Maybe I should stream a playthrough of KOTOR. Yikes, that's long. Then again, I am playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on stream, which you guys, if you didn't know, my current playthrough is Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're like 13, 12 hours in. It's been very fun so far. A silver PlayStation 5. Oh my gosh. That would be crazy. Where is Soulja Boy? We need his consoles. That's right. I remember this. I keep remembering this. Where are Soulja Boy consoles? Isn't he coming out with next gen? Where is it? I need next gen. Didn't Soulja Boy get like all of his websites removed and stuff because of the console stuff? Man, I never got my Soulja Boy console. Fuck. I need one. Oh, I don't. I'm kidding. Oh, God. The cringe. I remember when, like, all that stuff was going on, and he was, like, putting out, like, all of these products. It was funny, though. The bootleg video game systems. Boy. What a time to be alive. What a time. Also, hi, Tipster. How are you doing? I hope that you're doing good. I hope that your night is going very good. For everyone that's here, Tipster is a fellow content creator. Make sure to subscribe to him and follow him on Twitch because he streams there pretty regularly, and he's got a website, Twitter, Instagram. I think he's got everything. But go and make sure to subscribe and follow his Twitter. I mean, his Twitch or his Twitter. No one makes money on consoles. Well, yeah, that is the thing. Well, Soulja Boy was probably making good money because his consoles were Chinese-made consoles that probably cost him $15 to produce when he was selling them for, like, how much was he selling them for now? Were they like $100? They were like $199, right? He was making bank. I know it. I know it for a fact. He was making bank. You could find, like, all of the products that he was selling on, like, Alibaba. And he was marking them, like, triple the price because he's Soulja Boy. Didn't he make soap at one point? Oh, I think we're falling down a rabbit hole. I don't think this is the rabbit hole that we were looking for tonight. He didn't even have them in his possession. He was drop shipping them. Yes! Oh, that was funny, though. Honestly, he's a businessman. If I could sell soap for like $15 when I could pay 2 cents cost on them, I mean, come on, who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't? Oh, Soulja Boy, yeah. He tried hard to, like, get into scuffs with, like, gamers, like gaming content creators. It didn't really work for him. Where is Soulja Boy? Is he, like, on a deserted island right now? I don't think we've heard about him in a long time. Wasn't he, like, getting sued? Oh, no. We need a retrospective video. You know how I was talking about doing, like, video game conspiracy theories? Like, a live stream talking about theories? Maybe Soulja Boy's one of them. That's good. That's good. Soulja Boy... console. I don't see anything from him. Suspicious. It's possible to buy people's bathwater. Come on, you guys know that bathwater stuff was fake. Come on, she probably just filled like 5,000 bottles of water and took like dye, like, you know, food coloring, and like drop, 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 and someone got like a blue one, a purple one, a pink one. Man. People are making money off of dumb stuff. I'm kind of jealous. The DTE Woo, it's totally not a Wii knockoff. I mean, honestly, do you guys think we can market that? Anyway. $78.10 free shipping? Wait, for what? A Soulja Boy console? I need to buy one. Soulja Boy was taken to Nintendo jail in the Bermuda Triangle. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, you guys. I'm gonna wrap up the stream in a minute or two. If you have any last questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat now. The best was when he tried to say he had permission from Nintendo. True, Tipster, true. That was at, like, the very end, though. I think that Nintendo started going after him, and that was, like, the end of it, from what I remember. I feel like that time was very, like, confusing and convoluted. Veridark's bathwater simp. No bathwater from me, you guys. So sorry. No thanks. Check Discord. Oh boy. Check Discord. I haven't checked Discord since a couple of hours ago. I wonder what I'm gonna walk into in there. If there's a Soulja Boy console there, Frank. Your best mod. I don't see anything. Frank. Oh shit, I do. Soulja Boy handheld console? $78? It's practically a PSP? More than 66% sold? What does that mean? Last item available? It's a scam. I love scams. He was charging on his website for content people could watch on YouTube for free. I mean, people are capitalizing. I mean, I want to say good for them, but it's really bad what some people are willing to do. Aren't all the games Chinese knockoffs on, like, the Soulja Boy consoles? I don't remember. I think most of them were, like, because it came with, like, pre-downloaded games. Yeah. We could buy your bathwater? No, thank you. We're good. How about I sell a used game? Like, you actually get something for your money, but, like, I could quadruple the price. I will sell you a premium version of Fallout 76. $70. I'll even sign it. $70 for Fallout 76. Oh, I cracked myself up. Fallout 76. Did they even make a physical edition? Yeah, $76. Okay, $76. I will send you a copy of Fallout 76 signed that I have held in my fingertips. Did they even make a physical copy? Oh my gosh. Hold on. I mean, I know that I could buy, like, a box with a code in it. I gotta eBay this real quick. Before we end the live stream, Fallout 76. The helmet is only $45? Okay. Yeah, they didn't make a physical version. I thought that they made like a... I guess it's 2019. I guess it came out in, what, 2019? Very end of 2018? I guess that's true. We don't do physical games anymore. I could buy like a box though and put like a cover on it. Spray perfume on it. Oh boy, you guys are capitalists. Yeah, the GameStop helmet. Oh boy, that was a situation. There is no disc. Oh, I figured maybe they would have made like a disc that you put in your console and it just says download this code. I figured they'd be a little bit tricky. I could do it though. I figured it out. Nuka-Cola. Oh, jeez. Adventure capitalists get it right. Fallout 76. Yeah. They had a case with a cardboard disc. A cardboard disc? That sounds pretty scammy. I could do that. Make cardboard discs. Sign them. Say it's a game, but it's not. It sounds like something Soldier Boy would do. Alright. VR chat videos. I remember those really kind of died out like, what, half a year ago? Those were funny. They were. Can I pay with bottle caps for that signed copy? You know what? Since you're a mod, I'm gonna treat you guys. My mods get free signed cardboard Fallout 76s. I'm a generous woman. Oh no. I mean, it's Bethesda. Is Bethesda gonna sue me? Sue me, Bethesda. I dare you. I'm gonna get like a label printer and print Fallout 76 labels and slap them on cardboard. Yeah, it's a Soldier Boy move. I'm gonna do it. Half-Life's 2 disc had 6.45 MBs on it. The game was 100% downloadable. The installer simply connected to Steam. There's a lot of games that were like that, yeah. Is it glitchless? No. Yes. Fallout 76, my version of Fallout 76 comes 100% no glitches. If you glitch, full money back guarantee. I would do an unboxing for that. Gotta go to the dollar store and buy me some tissue paper. Make it look real fancy. Cardboard discs are so advanced, they're the future. You know what, guys? The cardboard disc idea's out. I'm gonna send you all a floppy disk with Fallout 76 on it. Signed, stamped, sealed, Bethesda approved. Alright, you guys, I am going to end the live stream here. We've gone for about 2 hours. Thank you guys so much for stopping by tonight. If you enjoyed the live stream, please make sure to give it a like. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. If you are not already part of our Discord, please make sure to join it. We are very active there. I will be in there for a couple of hours, as you guys probably know. I only tag you guys when I'm live streaming because YouTube doesn't send out notifications sometimes, and I post my videos there, and I also get your opinions on if you want, like if you guys have any input for videos. If you are not already a Dark Titan, please consider becoming one for just $1 a month via Patreon. The link is in the description of the live stream. As well as the donation notification link and also the Discord. So thank you all so much for stopping by and have a fantastic night, everyone.